So I went to the Fathom Events to watch the Dragon Ball DAIMA English dub at Regal Cinemas, and I have some thoughts. So I had not seen any of Daima up until this point. I tried to stay away from the sub version because I really prefer my Dragon Ball dubbed. That's just a preference that I've always had, and so I waited for this release particularly to finally watch it. My biggest gripe is with the first episode. There, it is packed with so much exposition. Yes, I mean, we get like the backstory of the events that happened and what leads up to Daima, and how they kind of circumvent the fill in the spaces between the end of the Buu saga and to the Battle of the Gods series. And it's interesting to watch, but at the same time, it's just bogs along so much. Like, okay, we get it. Like, come on. I know it's a good recap episode, but nothing really starts until like towards the very end of this episode and going into episode. This is where it really picks up, and I fell in love with it almost immediately. It was a joy to see like Goku as a child again. Something that GT tried to do very unsuccessfully. This movie, or should I say, series so far has gotten the spirit of adventure back in Dragon Ball that Dragon Ball originally had from the first main series, until it became this galactic force of fighting and, you know, action and power up and level. So it was nice to go back to a slightly simpler time, and it looks like they're going to give you know, of course Goku's the main character, but they're going to give some of the other side characters more things to do, especially Supreme Kai, who is particularly worthless in the Super series. I have some theories on like who the main villain might be. If you've played Xenoverse, there are a couple characters that look like key villains in the Xenoverse saga. So far, the main antagonist, Demon King Goma, actually gives me some Pilaf vibes, and I do enjoy that. He's kind of comedic in the goofball, but he does seem like he's going to have a bigger plan going forward. And then the third episode is really where it kicks off, because they are very much exploring the planets and the worlds that they are in, or the dimensions, because they're in the demon realm. And you get to see some really cool and unique character designs throughout. A lot of like you know, animal like creatures and demon like creatures that were abundant in the original Dragon Ball, and they kind of went away from it as the series progressed, and you don't see things like that anymore in the forefront. And it was interesting and fun to see that again. And the voice actors are, for the most part, pretty decent. I do like seeing or hearing the original Goku's voice actor come back. But some of the other voice actors kind of are like, they didn't really get their kid voice actors down properly. Like Krillin, like, does not sound like anything like he did in the original Dragon Ball series. And Piccolo's is a little off-putting because it's kind of a weird voice, but again, for the newer characters, it works. Some of the older returning characters that were aged down, it doesn't always work per se, but so far we haven't heard too much from them yet, at least in these first 3 episodes. Overall, I'm excited to see Daima. I can't wait till they release the rest of the episodes in dub. But so far I am excited. It did leave me at a point where I was like, I want to see more. But what I've seen so far is promising. It is off to a better start than say GT was, or even Dragon Ball Super in a sense. I mean, aside from that first episode, which was a lot of exposition and kind of setting the rules and groundwork for a series that's going to hopefully be fun and really adventurous, and we'll see things that we haven't seen before in the Dragon Ball worlds, or haven't seen in a very long time. Oh, and I totally forgot about the animation. This is gorgeously animated. This is some of the best animation we've seen in Dragon Ball in some time. Yes, it's not glorified action sequences or anything, but the character movements and just the flow of everything is just so fluid and natural, and you get to actually see martial arts again. Not just speed flashes of light in this on screen. The character models are endearing and they look really good. Very visually pleasing.